Why do we go to Prashanthi, you may ask? All the way to Prashanthi Nilayam? Pilgrimages are a way for spiritual seekers to recharge their batteries. Devotees have been going from New Zealand to Puttaparthi for many years. We bring to you today a composition of fond memories of some of these pilgrimages made. Introducing you to late Kura Baker. She was a much loved and respected elder Kaumatoa.
There was myself, Martha Betty and Dolly, my sister-in-law. And then we took a Cook Islander called Tua. And as soon as Baba saw us, he came down from the Mandia and right over to us and said, New Zealand, come now.
Our late Mata Betty, beloved New Zealand Sai devotee. Before even going to India for the first time, Mata Betty and her late husband were graced with the vision of Swami at their residence. Swami came, spoke to them, answering all their questions. And since then, she's been to India many times and has got numerous interviews with Bhagwan himself. In one particular instance, Bhagwan called her my New Zealand minister. Having been wheelchaired for a long time, Swami himself said, walk. For the first time, she walked in his presence.
Sri Satya Sai Baba has told me to tell you he will stand by your efforts.
Lynn Kriegler, author, illustrator, storyteller, and scriptwriter, arrived in New Zealand in 1974. Apart from pilgrimages, she has assisted devotees in writing and publishing of their personal experiences and insights of Swami.
It wasn't until I met Tom in 1978 that we both began a joint journey towards Swami. By that time, Goodies Books was in operation.
This is in Auckland?
This is in Auckland, New Zealand. Goodies spiritual bookshop. We were able to find books about Jack Hislop. Tom shared my interest in Bhagwan. We found books by Sam Sandweiss, and a few others were available by this time. By this time, we both were longing to go to India. And I thought, how are we going to get there? And I picked up one of these books from Goodies, and a bookmark fell out. Just fell out. It had Madeline Gilman's name on it, Secretary of the Sai Organization. I thought I'll call up Madeline, and this crisp British voice answered the phone. I was a bit intimidated. She sounded like a very strict schoolmistress. I was a bit worried about this, you know, because I thought, oh, she's very posh. But she said, yes, we do have a group going. There are 2 seats left at Christmas time. It's such a big group. There are 3 groups going. And I said, we'll take those tickets. We got there to the ashram, and Swami came straight over to me. And of course, I had been praying, I just want you to look into my eyes. I had the front row, and what did he do? He stood in front of me and looked into my eyes.
In 1964, Mother Madeline sailed to New Zealand to start her new life. She had a great spiritual urge and studied the Western and Eastern spiritual epics. She met Richard Wallace and came to know about Satya Sai Baba.
Yes, I had Baba's birthday here and then went straight there to...
How many people went from New Zealand? You went
We
in
were
a group?
a party of about 20.
20.
A living inspiration in Swami's teachings around the late 1970s, and spent her entire life since then taking his teachings to the people of New Zealand.
Mark Connell speaks of his trip in 1981. Being one of the pioneers of SSIO-NZ, he continues serving with unwavering faith and devotion in his beloved Lord, Sri Satya Sai Baba.
Back, we had our first centre meet. We formed official, filled criteria. You got to have 9 people, etc.
Right.
We had our first meeting about the end of January 1981, and we got our official affiliation with the World Council, just a few months later. There were 5 of us. We went to
All from New Zealand? 5 from New Zealand?
Yes.
Yep.
It was myself, Madeline, Barbara McKelly, Sandra Smith, and John Porter.
Mr. Richard Wallace, a retired property manager of Mobil Oil, New Zealand. He also served in the Auckland School of Philosophy as a lecturer. He served the Sri Sathya Sai Organisation of New Zealand for 12 years as a president. He is currently the convener for the Sathya Sai Values and Education Trust of New Zealand. He is also the founder and past chairperson of the Institute of Sathya Sai Education. He had a special passion for the spiritual education of children and found the ideal curriculum he sought for in Swami's Educare philosophy. He did his best to promote Educare through helping in the mobilization of SSE teachers and working closely with them in conducting SSE classes.
I went about 8 times, yeah.
So can you give us some experience on your visits to Sabah?
Yeah, well, the first one was beautiful. And the rest just sort of followed in the line of duty, really.
1994 Youth Trip to Prashanthi Nilayam. Youth leader at that time, Bernard Gulliman, asked Swami if he would bless a youth group to see him. 18 months of preparation with study circles of the 1990 summer showers in Vrindavan. The youth came together, laying down a framework that would make a trip of their lifetime. The group at the time had 2 arrival dates in India. The first group, on the 20th of November 1994, arriving to the festivities of Swami's birthday, 69th birthday celebration, and the second group arrived on the 5th of December. The group received 5 interviews and constant interaction with Swami. For some of the youth, this was their first trip, and these interactions were seen as the norm. It wasn't until later years, when they visited Prashanthi, did they realize how lucky they truly were. The Sri Sathya Sai World Youth Conference was held from the 16th to the 18th of July in 1997. Over 2,000 delegates from 66 countries and 10,000 delegates from India participated in this conference. Bhagavan lit the lamp inside Kulwant Hall to mark the inauguration of this trip.
The Christmas of 1997. 15 children between the ages of 4 and 11 years and parents, along with a few other devotees, went to Prashanthi Nilayam to stage a drama on Christmas Day in the divine presence of Bhagavan. This group was organized and coordinated by Sister Prini Vimalachandra. My work is my blessing was the message of Bhagavan during the Overseas Chairperson's Convention in PARTHI at the time of his 73rd birthday celebrations. The valedictory function of the convention of the chairperson of overseas centers was held inside Kulwant Hall. The function commenced with Vedic chants. Selected seniors from the International Sai Organization spoke about the impact of Bhagavan's value education. Bhagavan then delivered his valedictory address in which he answered all the questions that has been asked earlier by the members of the convention.
Trips with Mata Betty. Over the years, she had made over 50 pilgrimages, and excepting for 2 trips, all the rest were granted interviews. Her writings were based on direct experience of the truth.
In 2009, the devotees of New Zealand were gifted or blessed with an opportunity to perform in front of Swami. It was the first time the devotees of this beautiful country did a choir. Swami had agreed for their choir program and had also issued a very interesting command that all members of the choir would be seated on the stage on either side of where he would sit. There's an instant where, as Swami sat, and he saw a group of ladies of New Zealand devotees which had split down the granite blocks of the hall due to lack of space on stage. Calling a student, he told him to take him down to those unlucky ones who could not make it on the stage. He took around them and also around the entire ladies' side. Talk about the effects of good company. Sitting near the New Zealand devotees, whom Swami decided to bless, everyone got benefited.
It was really good. He came down and asked, no pigeon singing, and I was speechless. New Zealand, and I was like, yes, sorry. That's about.
The 2011 Youth Yatra or pilgrimage was a very, very special one. A combined music program by two different countries, Czech Republic from the Central Europe and New Zealand, was the highlight of the 25th of January evening in Prashanthi Nilayam.
Two 2012 brings us a lot of fond memories. It's a profound moment of our organization in New Zealand. First time we were invited by Bhagawan to Prashanthi Nilayam to decorate the entire residence and Prashanthi Nilayam for Christmas. We had about 115 devotees from New Zealand, or New Zealand as Swami calls it, who journeyed to Prashanthi to be part of the decorations and carol group. However, at the outset, we must acknowledge our loving support to many of our brothers and sisters, young and old, who were not able to be with us at Parthi.
Tom told me to expect you coming here, and you got about 100 volunteers, I think,
yeah,
right?
we have about 115 from New Zealand.
The thrill that's glowing inside and the journey that we've had. We had a fantastic journey, self, as an individual, and as a team.
And you can just feel the love flowing through everybody.
Can you think of a better place on earth to be for Christmas Day?
Not at all.
Yeah.
This is the best.
In 2012, 120 devotees worked hard to decorate the entire ashram, presented the early morning Christmas choir.
Before the commencement of the Satya Sai World Youth Festival, this evening, 200 Sai youth or young adults from 49 different countries graduated from the Satya Sai International Youth Leadership Program. And we are proud to say a handful of New Zealand young adults and youths were part of that congregation. And a huge congratulations to all of them. Certificates were handed out inside Covent Hall to the delegates by the organizers.
Kia ora from New Zealand.
the Go Green Conference in 2018. This helped us to understand the inherent relationship between God, nature, and man.
What a privilege and pleasure it is to be here with you at this first ever Go Green Conference.
And the journey continues from 2012 Christmas decoration to our 2018 Christmas decorations. We were honored again and blessed by the opportunity to be invited back by Prashanthi Nilayam to decorate Prashanthi Nilayam and Swami's residence.
The New Zealand Choir in 2018 offered a soul-lifting Christmas morning choir. This was presented at the Sanctum Sanctorum at 6:30 in the morning.
The children of New Zealand had the blessed opportunity to perform in His divine grace.
Our next item for this evening is a drama presented by the SSE students. The devotees and children have been working on this all year for you, Swami. The drama is based on the life of Sir Edmund Hillary.
Okay, line up.
Daydreaming again. We came so close. Just 300.
Thank you.